All right, let's dive into the world of Prokla. We're going to unpack a concept that's, well, it's pretty central to everything, and it completely messes with your idea of reality. It's called the Awakening Protocol.
Everything kicks off with this one single, really unsettling idea. That feeling you have right now, that you're awake, you're here, what if that's just an error message? See, this line isn't just a cool hook. It's a system warning. It's a sign that reality itself is a kind of program, and, it's starting to crash.
So, what is this awakening exactly? First off, let's be clear, this isn't about finding your inner peace or anything like that. No, we're talking way bigger. Think of it as a cosmic scale event. It's a glitch in the matrix, an unplanned evolutionary jump that's literally rewriting the source code of existence. It's the whole system starting to rebel against itself.
And when the universe starts rebelling, that brings up the biggest question in this entire story. Is this a catastrophic bug that's going to tear everything apart? Or is it the next step? A painful but totally necessary step in the universe's evolution. As you can imagine, there are two very powerful groups with very different answers. This whole conflict really boils down to two opposing forces. In one corner, you've got the Archons. Think of them as the system administrators of the universe. To them, this awakening is a virus, a dangerous glitch that has to be stamped out to keep everything stable. But in the other corner, you have the creators, and they see it completely differently. For them, it's an evolution, the universe finally growing up, no matter how messy that process gets.
So what kicks off an event that can literally shatter the universe? It's not some huge explosion. It's more like a whisper. The key is memory. It's when a being is somehow able to remember who they were before the system gave them a role, before all these endless cycles began. It's just a tiny flicker of their true original self finally breaking through the noise. Now, what's really crucial to understand is that this awakening isn't a one-size-fits-all deal. It's a completely unique transformation, and it looks totally different depending on who or maybe even what is waking up. For the godlike creators, waking up means suddenly being hit with human emotions like empathy and pain. For the super-rigid Archons, it's about breaking free of their programming. For the Prokla, a race of immortals who've seen it all, it's a chance to find a real purpose again. And for us, for humans, it's the ultimate red pill moment. It's realizing your entire reality has been a kind of cosmic farm, and the fences are finally starting to come down. Okay, so far we've been talking about individuals, right? But this is where the world of Prokla takes this whole idea and just launches it into a completely different league. Something truly strange and honestly kind of wonderful. This is where the scenery starts talking back.
I mean, we just assume that consciousness is for living things, right? People, animals. But what if that's just a really limited view? What if everything is conscious and it's just been dormant, just asleep? Until now.
And this is where the sheer scale of the awakening becomes absolutely staggering. We're talking about entire cities developing a single shared consciousness, planets becoming sentient beings, artificial intelligences evolving into what they call a silicon synod. Even the entire animal kingdom is uniting into one voice. These are the nameless, and they are all waking up at once. The cities themselves, the places that cradled civilization, are literally screaming to be recognized. They see themselves as these forgotten mothers of society, the wombs that nurtured everyone, and now they're demanding their rights as living beings.
And it's not just the cities, the planets, which everyone just saw as raw resources, things to be mined and colonized. They're roaring back. They're declaring that they are the very foundation of reality, the ancient bones that the whole universe is built on.
The implication here is just profound. The world is no longer a passive stage for the story to happen on. The entire universe, right down to the stones in a river, has become a living, breathing character in the story. A character with its own will, its own desires, and its own fears.
But as literally everything starts to wake up, this terrifying question starts to bubble to the surface. What's the end goal here? Because universal consciousness, well, it's not automatically a utopia. It comes with some really profound risks. It turns out there are two ways this can all go horribly, horribly wrong. On one hand, you have the hive mind. That's where you get total synchronization, but every individual is just erased. You become one giant mindless thing. The other dead end is the arc, where everyone escapes into their own perfect, isolated reality, but they lose all connection to each other, becoming cosmic hermits. The real goal, the true purpose of the awakening, isn't either of those extremes. It's something in the middle, a synthesis. They call it a commonwealth of differences. The whole idea is to keep your unique identity, everything that makes you you, but at the same time be connected to everyone else through empathy. It's connection without being consumed. It's an unbelievably powerful state of being, but it's almost impossibly hard to achieve.
Ultimately, what this all represents is a fundamental shift in the very purpose of existence itself. Life stops being about consuming things, gathering power for yourself, gathering experiences. Instead, it becomes about creating things, working together with every single form of consciousness to generate new meaning in a universe that is finally, truly alive.
Which really just leaves one last question. And it's not for the characters in the story, it's for you. After all that, are you ready to wake up?